we will think about 2 questions that we want to ask about in this photo, okay? And which questions we also want some answers, okay? So let's just try, maybe let's give it 1 or 2 minutes. Let's think of 2 questions about the photos here that we want to be answered, okay? So let's give it a minute, okay? 1 or 2 minutes. I'll check on the timer here.
Can you give an example of a question? I mean, write 2 questions you'd like answered about what you can say. So I ask my partner. Yeah.
Yep. Like for example, we don't really have to pair up at this point. We will just discuss the questions within among ourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
So for example, my question would be what kind of art is this, or what are these made of? Okay, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe where is this located? Something like that.
You want it bigger, to see it bigger?
Oh, yeah, we can. Yes. Well, we look at the photos. Okay. Well, to me, these photos look amazing. And I'm wondering how much more it would be amazing if I was in this location. If I were in this location, I would love to take pictures for every, let's say, portion of this place. Okay, so down to our last 10 seconds. Okay, so just 2 questions about the picture that we want some answers on. Okay, or that we want answered. Okay, so let's go. Stop. Okay. So first off, let's go to Alex. Alex, what were the 2 questions? What were your 2 questions about these pictures that you wanted to be answered?
The first question is, what do you feel looking at these artworks?
Okay, what do you feel? What about your other question?
And actually, I have 5 of them. Who is the author of these artworks?
Okay, who is the author? Okay, all right, so how do you feel and who is the author of this artwork? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so what about you, Lana? And thank you so much, by the way, Alex. So what about you, Lana? What were your 2 questions about these pictures?
Mine is more simple, like where it is located,
Yep.
And is it some kind of voodoo?
Okay, all right. Okay, voodoo, okay.
Right upper corner.
Right upper corner, okay, upper right corner. What about you, Sasha? What were your 2 questions about the pictures here?
Who created it?
Who created it?
Why was it created?
Okay, very good. So why was it created? Who created it? And are these voodoo? And who is the author or who made it? And how do we feel when we look at it? So, and my question specifically is, where is it located? Okay, and my other question is, who made it? Is it made by a team or is it just made by one person? Okay, so very good. Okay, so I want you guys to take note of your questions, okay? Because when we move to the next slide, okay, we will listen to a clip, okay? And as we listen to it, let's try to see if the questions that we want to know, or the questions that we want to ask about the pictures will be answered by what we will hear on the audio. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, so here we're going to do 2 things. Okay, as we listen to the audio, okay, about Nek Chand, okay, and the rock gardens. Okay, so Nek Chand is the person here, but is he really the author? So we'll try to find out. But that place that we saw where we had some pictures on is actually what we call the rock gardens, okay? So it says here, letter A, check if your questions were answered, okay? And letter B, we will try to see what would be the best headline for the story, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is nearly 50 years work in one man's life. The second one is 5,000 people work to create unique gardens. Or is it the third one, amazing rock gardens now closed to tourists? So we'll try to see which one of these is the correct one. Okay, so let's play the audio clip.
Oh, Manuel, can you play it? I think you can, because I will hear it anyway.
Oh, okay, all right. So let me just exit and I'll try to play it from my end here. Right, were you able to hear it, guys?
No.
No. Oh, okay, so I think I have to make it a live presentation, okay? What about that?
Maybe you should disconnect your speakers or earphones. Yeah.
Oh,
earphones.
okay. Wait. I think I know what to do. We kind of did this before. Okay. Because it's going to be on speaker if I do it. Okay, hold on. Select. Okay. So it can be played from your end, Lana?
From my end?
Okay,
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I didn't convert because you asked me to send this record and I didn't convert it, and I can play only converted records to my
okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll try something here.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'll try to play it using the audio clip. Okay. What about that?
No.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
You playing it from the computer, from presentation?
I tried it both ways.
Maybe I'll just look. I'll just give you maybe host rights. Sorry, I think I should give you host rights.
We can do that. Okay, for now.
Yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know. It is because we can't hear it from your computer because I'm the host. Sorry, probably my fault.
Okay, it's okay.
I'll just stop sharing presentation yet first. But we should, yeah. So Manuel, you should then show the presentation, okay?
The PowerPoint, yeah, okay.
I wouldn't be able to, just stop share and make you host. Sorry guys for these troubles. So make host. Now you are a host.
Okay. Right. So I'm going to share the screen. Okay, here. Okay. Right. So I think I have to make it also a live presentation. Okay. So let me know if you hear it, okay? Okay. Wait. What about that, guys? Were you able to hear it?
I think that the problem is that we can hear sound only from your mic, from your headphones.
Yes,
so you should disconnect your headphones from the computer.
Yeah, actually,
okay.
That's the problem. I remember I faced it too, and you should disconnect headphones.
Okay. I'll get it off.
Do you hear it yourself? Okay, maybe I'll
Hello? What about that, guys?
No.
Still no. Okay, I actually tried to do something before about this. I'll try to.
Did you disconnect your headphones?
Yeah, I did earlier when I played it. Okay. But I remember as well the last time when oh, okay, here. Okay, share computer sound. There it is.
And creator of these gardens.
What? Okay, is that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Okay, all right. So I think I'll have to start it back up. So again, remember your 2 questions, and let's try to listen to the clip again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Unit 2, Recording 4. I'm standing in the extraordinary rock gardens of Chandigarh in India, and I've spent the morning talking to Nek Chand, India's most visionary artist and creator of these gardens. He's a small elderly man with a wrinkled face and silvery hair, and is extremely modest about his work. I've been trying to find out what has driven him to create these gardens, but he told me simply, one day I started and then I continued. His modest manner, however, hides an incredible story. Nek Chand was the son of a poor farmer, and in 1958 he started work as a government road inspector. At that time, his city, Chandigarh, was being designed and built by a famous Swiss architect. Chand was fascinated by the process of design and construction using concrete, and decided to build his own kingdom. He started to collect rocks and other bits of rubbish from the building sites. Secretly, he took these things to a forest area outside the city and began to build his garden. It had to be done in secret because he was building on land which belonged to the government. At first, he spent the time making walls and paths and buildings. And then he moved on to the second phase, creating over 5,000 sculptures. These sculptures provide an incredible array of different figures, people, animals, birds, and many other strange and wonderful creatures. Each one is different, and they are all made of material that had been thrown away. Chand recycles anything he can find: old bicycles, bricks, lumps of concrete, broken plates, old sinks, electric plugs, pebbles, the list goes on. For 18 years, Chand worked on his secret garden every day after work and every weekend. Every minute of his free time was filled with working on this huge project that nobody else knew about. Then, after 18 years, the garden was discovered by accident. At first, Chand was afraid that it would be destroyed, as he had built it illegally on government-owned land. But quickly, people became interested in it, and the government realized that the garden could become a tourist attraction. They paid Chand a small salary to work on the project full-time, and 1 year later, the rock garden was officially opened. Now it is India's second most popular tourist attraction after the Taj Mahal, with 5,000 visitors every day. His huge achievement doesn't seem to have changed Chand at all, however. He told me, "I'm just doing my work. Everyone has work they do. This is mine." He says his life is utterly regular. I eat, I sleep, I work. Tomorrow morning he will be doing the same as he's doing today. And the day after he will be doing the same. He says it makes him happy just doing it, which is a good thing because soon he will have spent half a century just doing it.
Okay, so that's it, guys, and thank you for listening to the audio clip. Okay, so let's go back to the first few questions that we actually asked about. Okay, so hello.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to. I think I'm going to first ask here. The first question, I think there were 3 of us who asked about this, is who is the author of the artwork or who made it? So it says here it's Mr. Nek Chand. Okay, and this also answers my second question, which was how many people made these. So I think it was mentioned there only him. I don't know if I'm correct, okay? But I think it was actually him because he was working on it secretly, okay? And where is this located? So it was in Chandigarh.
Yeah.
Okay.
In India.
All right. Okay. But what about this one?
No, it
Lana?
is the territory of Pakistan.
Oh, really? I did not know
Yeah.
that. Okay, so thanks for
It
that
is.
bit of information. Okay, I'll take note of that. Okay. Right. Right. But what about this one, Lana? Lana, because you said you asked a question, are these related to voodoo? So upon listening, what do you think was the answer to that?
No, I think it doesn't.
No.
It is not related to voodoo.
Okay, it's actually not related to voodoo. Okay, but the first question that Alex asked is, how do we feel? So what about you, Sasha? How do you feel when you look at let's say the pictures, when you looked at the pictures for the first time?
My feeling is that it's really a good job of Mr. Nek Chand. And
Okay.
yes, and for sure it is kind of cultural phenomena of the Asian part of the earth. So, and that's interesting that we have kind of cultural phenomena nowadays made by one person.
That is correct. Isn't that amazing? So that amount of art actually being made by one person, okay? But this time, we're going to go to the next slide, okay, here. Because we will try to listen to the clip again, okay? And we will try to answer these other, let's say, they're not really questions, but we will try to get information here. And we will try to help each other out to complete these details, okay? Right, so I'll play the clip again and let's try to make notes about these things, okay?
Okay.
Right, I'll start.
Unit 2, Recording 4.
I'm standing in the extraordinary rock gardens of Chandigarh in India, and I've spent the morning talking to Nek Chand, India's most visionary artist and creator of these gardens. He's a small elderly man with a wrinkled face and silvery hair, and is extremely modest about his work. I've been trying to find out what has driven him to create these gardens, but he told me simply, one day I started and then I continued. His modest manner, however, hides an incredible story. Nek Chand was the son of a poor farmer, and in 1958 he started work as a government road inspector. At that time, his city, Chandigarh, was being designed and built by a famous Swiss architect. Chand was fascinated by the process of design and construction using concrete, and decided to build his own kingdom. He started to collect rocks and other bits of rubbish from the building sites. Secretly, he took these things to a forest area outside the city and began to build his garden. It had to be done in secret because he was building on land which belonged to the government. At first, he spent the time making walls and paths and buildings, and then he moved on to the second phase, creating over 5,000 sculptures. These sculptures provide an incredible array of different figures, people, animals, birds, and many other strange and wonderful creatures. Each one is different, and they are all made of material that had been thrown away. Chand recycles anything he can find: old bicycles, bricks, lumps of concrete, broken plates, old sinks, electric plugs, pebbles, the list goes on. For 18 years, Chand worked on his secret garden every day after work and every weekend. Every minute of his free time was filled with working on this huge project that nobody else knew about. Then, after 18 years, the garden was discovered by accident. At first, Chand was afraid that it would be destroyed, as he had built it illegally on government-owned land. But quickly, people became interested in it, and the government realized that the garden could become a tourist attraction. They paid Chand a small salary to work on the project full-time. And 1 year later, the rock garden was officially opened. Now it is India's second most popular tourist attraction after the Taj Mahal, with 5,000 visitors every day. His huge achievement doesn't seem to have changed Chand at all, however. He told me, "I'm just doing my work. Everyone has work they do, this is mine." He says his life is utterly regular. I eat, I sleep, I work. Tomorrow morning he will be doing the same as he's doing today. And the day after, he will be doing the same. He says it makes him happy, just doing it. Which is a good thing, because soon he will have spent half a century just doing it.
All right, so I hope we were able to take notes. Okay, so let's try to answer this one by one. Okay, so let's first go with Alex. Alex? Right. Hello.
Maybe me. I think Sasha, Alex is like she doesn't hear us.
Okay. All right. So let's start with you, Lana. The first question there on the notes, what was his personality?
Modest. He was modest.
Very good. He was actually modest about his work.
Was
what about you,
extremely
Alex?
modest, yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah, extremely modest. Imagine that. Okay. So what about you, Alex? What about his father's job? What did you hear in the clip?
His father was a poor farmer.
Okay, very good.
But
And
my iPhone corrected it to porn farmer.
oh my goodness.
Corn farmer. That's a new profession.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, Sasha? Okay. What about the third one? What was his first job? 1958.
Government road inspector.
That's correct. A government road inspector. And I will answer the next question. Inspiration for his gardens. Okay. He says that one day it's just started. Okay, and he just continued it. And it was because he was admiring the concrete artwork being done by the architects there during that time. Okay. Right. What about Alex? Let's go to the next one. What was the reason that he made it a secret?
The reason for the secrecy was the governmental area where he constructed all the park.
That is correct. He actually sneaked it into a government-owned area. Okay. What about you, Lana? Okay. Could you tell me one or two of the materials he used to make these sculptures? If you can remember.
Those pebbles, some electric rubbish, and I don't. Actually, I think I just deleted my notes. Yeah, I think it was pebbles and some
Electric
garbage.
plugs.
Electric plugs.
Yep.
Yeah.
There
And
were even some bicycles and old plates. Okay, very good. Okay, what about the next one? Sasha, what happened after 18 years of work?
This garden was discovered by an accident.
Very good. All right, it was discovered by accident. Okay, so we'll try to see. What about after 1 year of paid work? What happened, Alex?
After 1 year of paid work, actually my note is about number of visitors, but I can see that it is the next question.
Mm-hmm.
And,
oh, okay.
So nothing changed after 1 year of paid work. He just continued to do the same.
Okay. Well, actually, what happened is that because he was afraid that it was discovered, right? It was discovered after 18 years of work. He was afraid that it will be closed because it's a government-owned area. But instead, okay, after 1 year of paid work, okay, the government liked it. So they said that, Nek Chand, you should do full-time work here. And after 1 year of paid work, it was open to
Tourists.
other visitors, so to tourists. Okay, so that's what happened. Okay, but yeah, I'll let you answer that next question, Alex. What was the number of visitors per day?
The number of visitors per day after 1 year paid work was about 5,000 visitors every day.
That is correct, 5,000. That's too many. But again, it has been a tourist attraction, the second actually in India. Okay, and lastly, Sasha. Okay, how did Chand feel about his work?
Well, this is actually a difficult question to answer, because from one side he mentioned that it's just something that he's doing routinely. He mentioned like he works, he sleeps, he's doing it, like nothing special. But at the same time, at the end of his speech, he mentioned that it makes him happy. So I guess that's the answer.
Very good. It makes him happy. He said that everyone has work. This is my work, and I will do what I am doing. Okay, very good, guys. Okay, so we are very good note takers. Okay, so this time we will focus on our grammar lesson. Okay, so first, okay, I'll try to explain these things. Okay, so it says here we actually are going to discuss 2 tenses today. The first one is I'll tell about letter B first, because letter B is easier. Okay, so future continuous, it just means, or it just describes something that will be in progress at a definite time in the future. Okay, so there will be a certain time in the future. Let's say it can be 1 week in the future. It will be about a month's period in the future, but during that period, something will be continuously happening. So that is what we call the future continuous. Okay. On the other hand, the future perfect, okay, it describes a condition or an action that will happen before another condition or action. But those 2 things that will happen, they will happen in the future. Okay, so let's try to look at the first sentence. Tomorrow morning, he'll be doing the same as he's doing today. So does it sound like a future perfect or a future continuous? Let's ask Alex.
It sounds like a future continuous.
That is correct. Okay, so it's a future continuous because it's telling you about what he will be doing tomorrow morning. So this is a continuous process. It's not really a completed process, but it will be what he will be doing or what will be happening. Okay, what about you, Sasha? Let's go with number 2. Can you read the sentence?
Soon, Chand will have spent half a century working on his garden.
Okay, very good. So which one do you think it is, Sasha?
I think that's future perfect, because perfect is a result. And then basically, not right now, but after some time, right, he will reach a result, right? That half a century, that would be his result.
That is correct. Okay, we have half a century, and he will have spent half a century on his work. Okay, and there's, I think the other one is soon. So those two periods will complete in the future, but one will happen before the other. So you're correct. It's future perfect. Okay, let's go to Lana. Okay, so what about this one, Lana? The next sentence. What will he be doing in 5 years' time?
Continuous.
Okay, very good. It's continuous because again, it's talking about what will be happening in a specific time span. Okay, and the last one, he won't have finished the garden by the time he retires. So 2 things that will complete, but one will happen before the other. So this is definitely the, okay, who wants to answer?
Perfect.
Okay, it's a perfect tense. Okay, so there are 2 things here that will happen. The first is he won't have finished the garden, and the other one is his retirement. But the retirement will actually happen first. Okay, so very good, guys. Okay, so I will skip this slide. We will go directly to the next one so that we will know the format. Okay, the format of the future continuous tense. Okay, so it says here, the future continuous is used to talk about something in progress at a definite time in the future. So the format is will plus the be verb plus the present participle. Okay, so like this one, it says, don't phone me tonight. I'll be watching the football. I will be watching. So we have will, be, and we have the present participle watching. Okay, and it also says here, we can use the future continuous to ask about someone's plans. So this time it will be a question. So it's still the same. We will have will, we will have be, and we have the participle. Okay, so will you be using the car on Saturday? Okay, so any questions so far? Guys?
Yes, I have a question. What is the difference between will you be using the car on Sunday and will you use the car on Sunday?
Okay, it's actually expressing the same thought, okay? But in that case, when you say, will you be using, it's more like a continuous action that will be happening. Will you be using the car on Saturday? Because this might actually point out to a specific period, okay, on Saturday. But for will you use, it's more like it's not really pointing to a specific period on Saturday, all right? So let's go to the...
Sorry, may I add? I think maybe it's also, as I remember, when we use this continuous, it's kind of about plans, mostly talking about plans, but if will you use, it's kind of specific action, just very definite action. Will you use? So will you be using is kind of more plans, but will you use, it's already you sure 100% that you will use the car. Yeah, I think that's the difference.
Okay, so let's, the other one is a confirmation of the plan, and the other one is a yes or no about the specific action. So the yes or no is with the will you use, okay? Right. So, but this time, let's go to the not really, the rarely used future perfect, but right now I think I'll be appreciating this, okay? Right, so it's used to talk about something, and when we say something, it's an action or a condition that will be completed before a definite time in the future, okay? But it can also mean that in the future, one action or one condition will complete before another action or condition, okay? So the format is will plus have plus this time the past participle instead of the present, okay? So like this one. She won't have finished her essay by Friday. Okay, so the two things that will happen here is that she will not finish her essay, and the other one that will take place is Friday. Friday will happen, okay? So you're talking about two things that will happen here, but one thing, which is Friday, will happen before she will be able to finish the essay, okay? So I just want to make sure, is that clear, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so just think of it this way. When you talk about future perfect, first we think about the future, okay? It's not the present, it's the future. But in the future, two things, two actions, or two conditions will happen, okay? But one of them will happen before the other. So that's the case here. She won't have finished her essay by Friday. So the two conditions here are Friday, and the other condition is she will not finish her essay, okay? So it says here as well, we often use the future perfect with time phrases with, let's say, by that time, by this time next week, by tomorrow, by then, by the end of the trip. So meaning we're trying to give an estimate about a specific time period, okay? All right, so this time, let's try to put it to practice, okay? So we will try to complete the sentence with the future perfect or the future continuous form in the following brackets. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, so first one, by this time next week. Okay, can you please try this one, Lana?
By this time next week, he won't have finished his art project.
That is
Perfect.
correct. Again,
Future perfect.
so if we go, that is correct. Because if we go back to our clues, by this time next week, okay, so those are indicators of a future perfect tense. Okay, very good, Lana. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Alex, I want you to try this, please. Go.
I'm sorry, I can't come.
Right.
I will playing football tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, very good.
Will
Almost
be
close.
playing football.
Very good. There you go. Okay, so I'm sorry I can't come. I will be playing football tomorrow. Okay, so remember that it's talking about plans. Okay, so it's definitely a future continuous. Okay, so the next one, Sasha, my boss, go.
My boss won't be at work at 5:30 p.m. She will have gone home already.
Very good. Will have gone home. So two things will happen, but the first thing that will happen is 5:30, and the next one is she will have gone home. Okay, so it's definitely future perfect. Okay, let's go back to Lana. Between 10 and 12 tomorrow, go.
I'll be having a meeting, so I'll phone you after that. Oh.
Very good. So again, it's talking about a plan, and for a period of 2 hours, a continuous action will happen. Okay, what about number 5, Alex?
Sorry, Manuel, but can we say,
Oh yeah.
I will, because it's kind of two actions, one will be complete after another, and it is in future. Why can't we say, I will have
had a meeting.
A meeting.
Okay.
And I'll follow after which after that I'll follow you after that. I'll phone you after that. Because one is another. I don't know. It's just a little bit confusing because it's also 2 periods of time.
Maybe because it is continuous, because it is like a period.
That is correct. Because usually it's in my opinion, okay, so when we say 10 to 12, it's a specific period, and within that period is a continuous action, which is going to be the meeting. So if we look at the sentence, I think it will make more sense if we express that a meeting will be happening between 10 and 12.
Yeah, so this term is kind of have an advantage in this sentence, right? This first term, that it is a continuous action. So if it is, say, tomorrow, at 12, no, even like without time, tomorrow I will have had a meeting, and I'll ring you after that. So if we don't use specific time, that we can use present perfect, right?
That is correct. Okay, and the way you have reconstructed the sentence there, Lana, this time it's expressing more the present perfect tense, because you are trying to tell the person that the 12 o'clock will happen. Okay, and by the 12 o'clock, when 12 o'clock happens, your meeting will have already finished. Okay, so it's a completed action. Okay, but it will happen in the future. So if that's how the sentence will be phrased, then it will definitely be present perfect. Okay?
So I should say, I am having meeting tomorrow, and I'll call you. So I won't say I will have had. I won't say.
That is correct.
Future perfect anyway, right?
In my normal life, I will say I'm going to have a meeting tomorrow, and after we'll call you.
That is correct. I will be having a meeting. That is correct. So it's like you're telling them that within this period, I will be busy. I will have a continuous action. So anytime after that, that's when I can call you. Okay. All right. So let's go to number 5. What about you, Sasha? I hope.
Okay, I hope you will have finished making dinner by the time I get home. Is that
Okay,
correct?
very good. Okay, because we have the clue there. By the time I get home, an indicator of a future tense. Okay, so again, this better happen, because if we get home and there's no dinner, then I think that person will be mad. Okay, all right. What about number 6? Alex, I can't wait.
This time next Friday, we will be lying on the beach in Australia.
Okay, so this one, okay, I can't wait. This time next Friday, we will be lying on a beach in Australia. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like a plan to me. Okay,
Yeah.
so we will be applying the present continue. I'm sorry, future continuous tense rather. Okay, right. What about number 7? Let's have you, Lana. Let's try this.
This article says that when you're 50, you will have spent a total of 16.7 years asleep.
Okay, 16.7 years asleep, so less than half. Okay, but what is more important here, yes, you're correct, this is future perfect. You will have spent, okay, because two things will be completed in the future. Okay, the first one is you'll be able to, when you reach 50, you will have already completed the second action, which is 16.7 years of sleep. Okay, right. And the last one, I'll have Sasha for this. Go.
Don't phone between 7 and 7:30 because I'll be having my piano lesson.
Okay, very good. So this is definitely future continuous. So I think one clue that we can look at here is we'll try to see if in that specific period that is being mentioned, is it an action that is completing, or is it an action that is still going to, let's say, be continuous or will be happening, so that we will know if it's future continuous or if it's future perfect. Like for this example, from 7 to 7:30, I will be having a piano lesson. So the piano lesson is what will be happening. Okay, all right. But let's practice more. This will be our last activity. Okay. So since there's 4 of us, then I will actually jump in. Okay. So I want you to think of for number 1 and number 2, for letter A, I want you, Alex, to think of an answer, and we will share this later. So Alex will be letter A. Lana, you will be letter B for both numbers. And Sasha, you will be letter C. And I will be letter D for both numbers. Okay? So let's give it about 2 minutes. Okay? I'll start the timer from my end. Okay, our last 30 seconds.
Should we make only one example?
One example per
Correct.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, letter A, all the letter A's for both numbers will be for you, Alex. Letter B for both numbers, Lana. Letter C for both numbers is Sasha, and I'll be the letter D for both numbers. Okay. All right. So let's try to share our answers. Okay. Let's go with number 1. What do you think you will be doing? So here I will expect to hear future continuous sentences. Okay, let's start with Alex. Okay.
I will be working on my dance project at 2 p.m. this Sunday.
Okay, all right, very good for making it
And
Sunday.
the gathering, as you know.
That is correct. Okay, so very good for turning it into Sunday because 2 p.m. Saturday I think has already passed. Okay, so you will be in a dancing workshop. Was it Alex?
I will be. What I mean? Yeah, I will be working on my dance project.
On a dance project. Okay, this Sunday at 2 p.m. I will be working. Very good. Okay, what about letter B, Lana? Exactly 1 month from now, what will you be doing?
Well, it's very hard because it's the situation. They might have they might make quarantine in Moscow, I heard again. So I think I'll answer like exactly 1 month from now. I will be either staying in Cebu or moving to Moscow.
Oh,
But,
really? Moscow?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Staying.
So either one option or another.
Okay. But at least you will have 2 options. Okay. Maybe
Yeah,
a
at least
backup plan.
I have 2 options. I don't have other option. I can't even go to Australia because it will cost me $9,000 because I should
Okay, but
buy business class
heard,
and stay
but
at
I
2
heard
weeks
they will
hotel.
be giving. I think they will be giving free vaccines there. But anyway, okay. So
Free
thank you
what?
for sharing. So,
So
free vaccines. I don't know if that's true, but I
Where?
think
In
it's only
Russia?
for their citizens.
In Russia?
In Australia.
Oh,
In Australia, I
okay.
heard. Okay, so either you said I will be staying in Cebu or I will be moving to Moscow.
Yeah, I will be
Okay.
already moving
Okay.
or living there already. 1 month.
Okay, all right. What about you, Sasha? August 22nd of next year. So what do you think will you be doing? It's very difficult, right?
Yes, because of the pandemic, I have completely no idea what I will be doing this time next year, but I sincerely hope that I will be doing something enjoyable.
Okay, I will be doing something enjoyable this time next year. Okay.
Where?
So, well,
Sorry,
in my
where?
case,
Where did you say something?
No, I didn't say where. I just said I hope that I will be doing something enjoyable.
Enjoyable. Okay.
anything enjoyable. Okay. All right. So regardless of the location, okay, but hopefully the situation has already improved by that time. Okay. So I'll be, when I'm 65, I will say I will be taking care of my garden, my big garden when the time I'm 65. At the time that I'll be 65, I will be taking care of my garden. Okay. So what about the number 2? Okay. What do you hope you will have done this time? The things that we will be able to complete. Okay. So let's go to Alex. I know Alex is in the process of looking for a flat, okay, but I know she's also doing other things related to work.
But now I will say that I hope I will have finished with my report this time next week.
This time next week. I will have finished with my report this time next week. Very good sentence, okay. What about you, Lana? Let her be by the end of this year.
I hope I will have developed Engood project a little bit more and have had many students or have had more students. Yeah.
Okay. So
by the end of the year.
I will have
developed.
Finished developed. Okay. And the other one is I will have had students.
had more students, because will have developed and had finished. Can I say that? Can I say will have developed and had finished? Can I say and between two verbs, but only one have? Or do you understand my question? No?
Okay. So, well, I will have finished, and I think we have to just repeat the have to be very clear on the context. So I will have developed
and
another Engood project, and I will have had.
Okay, got
very good. All right. So what about this one? I'm curious to know, Sasha, what do you hope you will have done within the next 5 years?
Still have no idea, but I hope that I will have achieved something quite significant in my life within the next 5 years.
Okay, will have achieved something significant in my life in the next 5 years. Okay, although it's not really specific, but it's actually something very encouraging. So that's very good. Okay, so anything that comes our way, again, it really depends how we react to things that happen to us. Okay, right. And lastly, my answer here, by the time I retire, I hope that I will have saved maybe 5 million, something like that.
Dollars
okay?
or pesos?
Just pesos is enough, okay? In passive income, okay? All right, so well, that ends our lesson course.
Dream big.
Oh yeah, well, I hope so, yep. All right, so I will aim high, but I will expect not too much, okay? All right, so well, guys, I'll stop sharing the screen. That's the last of our presentation. Okay, and you did very well, guys. Okay, so I didn't really have a time, and I like the fact that you are throwing in some questions to verify some things, because who knows, this might be the question of another person. So that also helps enrich the learning. Okay, so thank you for your very good examples. Okay, because it also helps me get to know you guys more about your future plans, about the things that you want to do and what you are interested in. Okay, so I hope we still see each other next Saturday, okay, for another class, okay? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. It was a really very interesting topic about the rock garden. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was a wonderful listening.
Okay. All right. So, well, I thank you guys for your time too, and I'm very happy you found the topic very interesting. Okay. So, Alex, maybe I'll see you this Monday, and Sasha and Lana next Saturday.